So, for today, I want to talk about how to visualize some data for your package. So we have covered how to visualize raster data set, and today I want to talk about how to visualize static imagery and also videos, and also WMS web map services. So I'm going to go to the notebook. I actually updated example for iPad Leaflet. So if you go through this notebook, I added 3 more sections, adding an image overlay, video overlay, and also WMS layers. I have all the examples here. It should work just fine for iPad Leaflet. But what I'm going to show you is how do you integrate this one into your package so that you can make it easier to use. Make sense? So I'm going to open the notebooks and then go to Geospatial here. iPad Leaflet. Okay. And then from here, I'm going to start with the image overlay. Okay. Oh, by the way, so last time we talked about the raster. Let me open the package. Okay. Right now, we need to work like in two VS Code windows so they can see what I'm doing here. Close this one. All right. So this is the one we have last time. I think because of the time issue, we didn't finish last time, but the only thing that last time it didn't work was because of there's a map. I created a map at the beginning of here. So I deleted the late line and then now it's good. So it's basically you can pass in a file path and then use local type server. Then you can create this so-called Thai client and then get the Thai layer. So basically iPad leave the Thai layer and then you can add the layer and then you can set the center. You're able also to set the zoom. So in this way, in the client default zoom or something. Yeah, default zoom. So in this way, the map will automatically zoom to the layer once it's added to the map. So if you want to test it, I can show you right now. Go to the raster function here, and then create a notebook. Then I can pass in the file name. Okay. So make sure take a look at the map right now. It's the global map. After adding imagery, it should automatically zoom to that location. Oops, what is happening? In is not overable. Or default zoom, that means it probably is no parentheses, just the default zoom, something like this. Not quite sure. Let's try it out. More time. So this one, the file, make sure that you understand it can be the file on the local computer or can be a file on the internet. Okay, so right now I'm basically passing the file on my local computer. So for example, for the exam, if I ask you like I give you this DM or LiDAR, whatever, at the location, just visualize that using your package, like one line of code. If you can do that, good to go. So right now, this is just one. Let me show you. I can quickly adjust this one to a different data set. So show you data sets here. I'm going to go to maybe raster data set. I can try any other data set that I like, right? So earlier there was one. I can have maybe, if I have any other data set here, maybe this one, A*TM90. Maybe not. Let me see. Maybe this TM. I'm not quite sure if it works or not. So I come to here and then just replace this one. Right? So run it, add layer. Okay, so now I have a different DM, something like this. And this is pretty powerful. By default, it's only using the default settings, but because we allow this one to accept any keyword arguments. So all these keyword arguments will be passing to this get leaflet Thai layer. So all we need to just figure out what kind of parameter this one accept. For example, source, indices, color map, vmin, vmax, no data attribution. So you can use anything that's accepted by this one. Right now, if you look at this example, oops, here, we are, by default, it's using just the grayscale, but you can certainly specify it. So for example, I can just say color map, okay, equal to terrain, name equal to DM. So take a look. We'll run this one. Look, so quick and easy. So now I have a terrain. You can change it to any color map that you like. I can also change the opacity, right? So it should work as well. So opacity equal to 0.5. It might be because I have multiple data layers. So right now it's not really doing that. But you create a new map and run this one, opacity See that? So it's a little bit transparent. So it's very, very flexible. You can pretty much load any data set that you like. So this is just one band. I can do a multispectral band. For example, I have Landsat imagery here, right? Let me copy this URL, right? And then come here, replace this, and then the layer, for example, this one will be Landsat. I don't read the opacity right now. If this multispectral band, you don't want to use the color map because it's multispectral. So the color map only applies to a single band. So for us here, instead of using the color map, you want to use this one called indices. Okay, indices is basically the band combination. So what we want to do here, I can do indices equal to, and then it will be a list. Okay, so for Landsat, for example, 9, I can do maybe 5, 4, 3. Let's see what happens. You can run it. Oh, I need to run this one. Run this again. So this file is a little bit larger. It might take a couple seconds. Localized server, right, it has some bugs right now. It's not the most it's the best performance right now. So sometimes it may not work. If it doesn't, you can restart the kernel. So for example, let me restart the kernel and then try this one again. Here, passing the file and then display it. So when it's running, try not to zoom in and zoom out because it might slow down the process. Just let it finish. While after it displays, then you can zoom in and zoom out. But right now it's spinning. That means it's basically requesting the tile. You see, it works just fine. So this is right now 5, 4, and 3 means force color composite, right? Near infrared, red band, and green band. And you can zoom in, you can zoom out. So this is how you can actually visualize pretty much any raster dataset using Python interactively. Again, it's a little bit slow. It's a no bug right now. It used to be very fast. I have reported the issue, but it has not been resolved yet. So hopefully it will be resolved in the future. I think it's I reported maybe a couple months ago, not showing further exactly where it's somewhere. I think it will be somewhere here. Yeah, I reported some issue. So right now it's a little bit slow. So anyway, just let you know, okay? But now you're able to visualize any vector in raster data. So for this one here is geospatial data, GeoTIFF. So it knows the location. You're going to zoom in automatically to the location. Using this is pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines of code. You can visualize any raster data. So next, let's talk about how we can visualize static images. So I'm going to go back to the iPy leaflet notebook here. Let's run this one just to show you what it looks like. This. Okay, so for this one, we're basically using the so-called image overlay. So iPy leaflet has this image overlay class, and this class allows you to basically specify a URL, a bounding box, and you can give a attribution if you want to. So for this one, the URL can either be a file path or it can be a HTTP URL. So right now, basically, we are pointing to a file on the internet. So if you open it, it should open this one. It should be a direct URL, okay? This one is automatically redirect, but you will see this one is image.com, blah, blah. When you open it, it automatically redirect to their website. So you have all these advertisement stuff because the website automatically redirected. But don't put this link. This link is not going to work. This one is not a direct link, okay? Ideally, if you click the direct link, it should open a dialog, ask you to download something. That one is called the direct URL. This one is not, okay? So if you go online, for example, Google search some images, don't try to just copy the URL because it's not going to work, okay? So for example, as you say, funny image. Okay, which one do you prefer? How about this one? You like it? And then don't just like copy this URL and then put in it. It's not, this is not the URL, okay? You probably need to come here, click copy image address. It's not 100% that it's going to work. It may not. So if you copy the URL and then just come here to paste, I guess it's not going to work. If you open it, you see it's redirect to somewhere else. So it's not the direct URL. You may come here And sometimes those websites just do not allow you to actually access the direct URL. So this one is not going to work. But if you go to any website, for example, I'm going to go to our let's see. How about this? I'm going to go to the course website. I believe that we have some photo in here. For example, no, not no good one. How about this? We go to this one, and I maybe go to graduate students. Not this one. I also have some photos somewhere. There's no a whole lot of photos. How about this one? No. Actually, now it's a little bit hard to find images with just the static. How about this one? If you right click this, copy image address, and paste. This is definitely better. So ideally, when you open the direct URL, that means you're going to direct. So I think for me, this is probably is this one. Okay, so be HTTP blah blah blah, something ending with PNG, JPEG, whatever. That one is the direct URL. So I can just come here, copy this part, and then open it again. You see, this one has basically the full image, and this is so-called a direct URL. That means I can right-click, I can download this one to a computer. Otherwise, if you go somewhere else like this, right-click, and then you can save, because Google actually they have put a case probably somewhere on their computer. But again, right now this is the URL actually we can use. So if I copy this one and then come back to here, replace it, run this one, it should work. Okay. But if you put other URL, be careful. If it doesn't show up, that means the URL doesn't work. So what you can do is open it, the link on Collab. Not on Collab, on Chrome. And if it doesn't show you just the image, it shows you something else. As the image has the the website and then with all the advertisement, that means it's not the one. So right now, for example, if I copy this one, it's a no. Okay. So if I paste here, 100% sure it's not going to show up. If yes, I want to. Okay, it doesn't show up. So now you know. Okay, this is the static image. So make sure you get the one that you want. You can also download the file to a computer, but if you want to put this one on in the cloud, or you want to share the notebook on GitHub, then don't use a local file path, because when other people open your notebook, they run it, they don't have access to the file on local computer. So you should avoid using absolute file path. For any notebook you're going to do for future lab assignments, never have like C drive, D drive, and then your slash, your username. Okay, it's not going to work. 100% you will fail. So you should just follow example that I provide for all my notebook, for example. Everything works fine, either you are opening on Collab or on local computer, because I pull all the file from the internet. So as long as you have the internet, it should work. Also, for the static image, you can have the bounding box parameter. So the B box has two tuples. So what's this value? In which corner? What do you think? So I have 2 points. Where's this point? Correspond to this imagery. Which corner does this point relates to? Anyone? So is this one latitude or longitude? Latitude, right? Longitude, because longitude, the only one has greater than 90 or negative 90. So this would be 13, negative 130. So negative basically longitude here, right? So this would be negative 130, and then horizontally the latitude would be 13. Then the other one is 32 and negative 100. So it would be this. So the 2 points basically will be the lower left corner, the upper right corner. Make sense? And then you have tuple, and this is why you have here. You can certainly, for example, right now, you can, this is actually exactly like this. It's not 100%, but this one is like in the aligned perfectly with the base map. Not 100%, but it's close enough. So you can, based on the imagery, if it is a real satellite imagery, a static one, you can figure out the real latitude and longitude. But If it is just something you just want to put on the map, it doesn't matter. So this one, the bounding box doesn't really matter. You can move it anywhere you like. So for example, I can put it into maybe negative 100, okay? And then the other one would be negative 70, for example. Make sense? So you can move, you can shift it to other location if this is what you want, right? Now you move to here. All you need is just figure out, okay, where's the lower left corner? Where's the upper right corner? So once you decide those parameters, then you can control location of the imagery. All right, questions? So ideally, if you really, want to have some map and you want to have it add a logo or anything, you can do it here. You can add this one to your map. So right now, for example, I can just find maybe UTK logo. Oops, UTK login, no, in logo. Okay, and assume that I develop something. I want to add this one to the map. Okay, so this one looks good. I can click here. We take it to the website, and right now this one looks like it's a direct URL. So I'm going to copy image address. If it works or not. Yeah, this is a good one. Okay, and once we have this, now it's simple, easy. Copy. Okay, and then just replace this one with URL. Okay, of course the ratio is a little bit distorted. So in this case, okay, so for this one right now, it looks like the squeeze vertically. That means you need to increase the vertical. So right now, for example, I have 13 to 32. Probably I can have maybe 13 to 40. So in that way, it increases a little bit. Oh, it's too much. So maybe 35. Okay, pretty good. So now if you create a map, right, I can have a logo always here. This is probably right now a little bit too much to the right. I can maybe create a map center the US, and then I have the logo maybe on the lower left corner. If this is what you want, then you probably just shift this one a little bit. I can do maybe 150, and then this one maybe negative 120. Okay, not bad, right? So now that logo is always there. So it's up to you. You can certainly put your photo if you really like yourself. You want to showcase your map to other people. You can put your photo to yourself, and just. But you need to put your photo somewhere on the internet so that you have like direct access. Certainly, it's feasible. So you can have something, create an interactive map, and then deploy it to the cloud. So when people go to your website, they can do it. So certainly, it's feasible. If you really want, I can try it out. How about this to Michael Campanova, okay? Copy image address, all right? Don't tell him, okay? Web EP, okay, looks good. Now, let's try it out. Sophie, yes. Again, the ratio is distorted. So that means right now it's compressed vertically. That means you need to increase. So I can. Okay. How about like you certainly you can do whatever you want. And maybe 40, just to be fair. Okay, looks a little bit better. Okay. So try it out with your own photo. You have the lab assignment to demonstrate your skills. So I want to see what kind of images do you use. Okay, you can put whatever you like. All right. So this is a static image. Compared to the raster, we don't need to specify the bounding box, right? So you remember, local tile server will automatically generate the tile. All you need is just the center location of your imagery, but you don't even need to specify. You'll be getting automatically from the source data. But this one, there's no geospatial information, so there's no way it knows where to put. So that's why you need the lower left corner, the upper right corner, and then just look at the map, see where you want to put it. Questions? And besides like displaying, for example, static imagery, you can actually put a GIF animation. So it doesn't really matter. So for example here, look at this. How cool is that? So you can get any funny GIF animation. It's the same. It's the same source code. Look at this one here. There's nothing special. It's just the URL. So the URL can be a JPEG, PNG, WebP, or GIF animation. So all you need to just to make sure the URL is a direct URL, okay? So now you should understand what's the direct URL, what is the embedded one on the website. It's very different. So you can find whatever animation that you like. Questions? Questions? So now let's think about how to add this one to my package so that I can just use it without having to import IPyLeaflet image overlay, for example, here, because previously we have to use this one. And it's not that complicated, right? It's like create a map, create this image overlay class, become the object, and then add an object to the map. So you can do pretty much the same thing very easily in here. Let me show you. I'm going to move quickly. Right now, this is what the lab 7 is about. Okay, div add image. Okay, then you can pass me, give me an image. So this one is a non-geospatial data. Okay, it's the URL, HTTP, and then the bounds. Wow, how nice! I don't even need to write anything. But you need to import the image. Oh, you don't even need to import because the image overlay is already here. But you need to make sure at the save at the beginning. I always forgot this one, but at the save, give me imagery, and I think I will force the user to provide the bounding box. Or you can skip that. Otherwise, it's going to be in the entire screen. And then you have the overlay, add the overlay. That's it. Control S. You see? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines of code. And that's it. So now I can demonstrate this one. We start. Okay. Create the map. So now we can just simply copy over whatever URL that we have. I love Michael, so let's use Michael as an example again. So all I need to do is just this URL, right? And then maybe the bounding box. I need both of these. So what we need to do here is Control V, and I just remove this. Okay, and then I don't need this. Oops. Yeah. All right. So run it. So with this set, now we should be ready to go. It will be just m.add what? What did I add? Image, right? URL bounce. Coming. Nice. See here. Now I have the imagery, right? I can change it to URL animation. This one, it should work as well. All I need to do is just come back to here, press this one. And on it. Okay. How cool is that? So if I don't specify the bounds by default, let's see what happened. Wow. Oh, this is huge. Hey, by default, you're going to basically cover the entire map, right? So it's like 180 to latitude 90 to negative 90. Huge. And how many lines of code you need to write? Basically, just one line of code, right? You don't need necessarily have to define. You can pass in the information direct here as well. So now you know, right? Create a map. Just give me an image. I will render it for you. Doesn't matter it's like static image on a local computer or it's something from the internet. You can do it easily. It's not super complicated. So this is where now you should have the things like whenever you see something like, oh, this is really cool. And if it is something using Python, okay, oh, now I know how to steal that and put it in my package. So that you can just like, it's just wrap it. Nobody knows what's, unless they read the source code. But you can say, okay, one line of code, now you can do this, right? So you can easily put in any data. Some of the example would be, you can create an interactive map and it's showing all the locations that you visited. And then you have some thumbnail images over there, okay? And you can showcase to your family, like, yeah, these are all the things we visited last year. And then you can click on the imagery, it will pop up a video or something like that. It's all possible. It's just up to your imagination, what you want to do. Okay, questions? So we finished one. So next, let's go to the next example, how to add a video. This is kind of like the video, but if you want to add a video, it's similar. But instead of using image overlay, now we're using video overlay, and pretty much the same step. Okay, create a map, create the image overlay layer, and then just add the video. So for this one, you can either use add layer or you can just use add. Okay, so the new version right now is just the add function. You will automatically figure out It's going to be a layer or is it add control? You might see some circles say add control or add layer. You can just replace with add. So it's 10. Okay. So for this one, I'll write. It's supposed to be working, but it's not. I don't know why. It doesn't work in VS Code. So if you're trying to add a video, you will need Jupyter Lab. Okay. So this one right now, it doesn't work. I don't know what happened. I might need to report an issue on the GitHub, but you see, it doesn't show up. But I did tested it using Jupyter Lab. So let me show you quickly here. Go to the documents, 510, books, Geospatial. So here, that fast. On that, activate Geo, Jupyter Lab. Sometimes some weird things will come up. You have no idea why it's causing it. You just need to basically debug it, and then until you figure out the reason. I haven't had time to do that, but I'm going to show you quickly. Oops. It's wrong. Let me delete this one. Then I can showcase the video example view. Right? Add video overlay. So I'm going to import leaflet, iPyleaflet, iPyleaflet. Okay. Then run this one. See? Now it comes up. So again, this is a direct link. Okay. It's a direct URL. So if you copy the URL, open it in the browser. Oops. I think because I have double quotes at the end. So it should look like this. So if you go to the URL, you should be able to see the video. Nothing else, okay? If you open a website, it's wrong. It should open the video directly. So this is the direct URL, and this is why we can utilize this one. It's supposed WebM, but I think MP4 should work as well, because I know the website has two files together on their website. So you can either you can actually upload MP4 to your GitHub account and then use that direct URL to here. It should work. So this is one, right? You can do it like this. And similarly, you just need to specify a lower left corner and also the upper right corner. Similarly, there's another example, right? So for this one, I'm having a drone video. You see the wave? Pretty cool. So you can actually overlay a drone video on top of the map. You can also the satellite-based map if you want to. It's super nice. Of course, this location is not 100% correct, and this is why it's like looking at it's not aligned very well. But I steal the example from my leaf map example, actually from here. Let me see if I can find it. Video. Yeah, it's actually from here, this one. So video on the map. This one actually, the orientation actually shifted. So you can actually see pretty how it overlay on top of the map. I can show you the real video. It actually looks pretty cool. One more time here. Go up, go to the map, okay? And then go to the video on the map. Does it work or not? If not, something is wrong. Oh, it works. Cool. See this? The video. So this one is not iPyleaflet. This one is MadLibre. So it allows you to specify the four corners rather than the lower left and upper right, because if the orientation is not perfectly horizontal and vertical, then it's not going to align very well. But this one, you can certainly see. Probably has some landslide or something, or it looks a bit different. But nice thing about this, you can zoom in, and you can actually rotate it. And see this. I think behind there's a 3D terrain, so you can actually, if you want, you can actually overlay on the 3D terrain. So super nice. So just like you're flying the drone imagery. And I think I didn't use the. I use it. Probably not extruded because the terrain is a little bit flat here. But certainly, if you have some imagery, you can do that pretty much like just like human seeing up the beaches and the cliff. Just show you like some possibilities. Right now, we're just doing some simple, very simple stuff, but there are a lot more things you can do. These mapping libraries. And the other one will be like overlay all kind of imagery. Let me show you maybe the Google engine. Right, so you can overlay on the terrain. You can overlay lane cover data layer, any other data layer on top of the 3D terrain. And this is how you can actually visualize the data nicely using something like this. Right, isn't it cool if you can overlay your own data set on top of this? And along the track, you can add some points. And then just like maybe a treasure hunt or something, you click the map and it pop up a video. And then when you click on the map, maybe for example, okay, some of the location they have visited or some favorite famous location with some images, and we click, it pop out a video, you click, you can play the video. Take maybe some like thing to think about for your final project. I don't expect you to have this kind of complicated stuff, but it's possible. I just want to see, you can check out the examples. Again, you just need to know how to copy the stuff and make it yours. All right, so this is the video. Now, do you know how to integrate this one to your package? Can you do that? It should not be too difficult, right? 2 lines of code, you get it done. So let's do it. We have 10 more minutes. So let me come here, go to the package. Okay, simple, easy. PDF, add video. Very lazy. I'm still wait. Yeah, Copilot to give me the result. Okay, all done. It takes less than 5 seconds. And it's done, right? Video bounce, blah blah video, and then that's pretty much it. Okay, Control S. Now it's mine. Import the library, and then that's it. So all I need to do is just figure out the URL. So I can say URL equal to. Then I can bring from my other notebook from this Zoom video. So for the lab assignment, try to find some other video. Don't try to copy and paste because this technically takes you 5 seconds just to do it. But what I want is to showcase your own data. So for the bounce, I'm going to again also copy from here. So C, and then Control V, run it, right? And create a new code block. M.add video, and just passing the URL, the bounce, and that's it. Run it. Again, right now it doesn't work because I'm not in Jupyter Lab, but it should work if I'm using Jupyter Lab. So I can certainly come here, and then let's do it here because I'm in the same contact environment, so it should work as well. And then M equal to G. Oh, I need to restart the kernel because I just added that function. So GODV, and then GODV dot map, right? Map. It work, okay? Works fine. Now all I need to just copy this. Somewhere here, let me copy this to URL and then be good to go. Copy this. Then is it? What? Paste. Okay. And this m.add video URL bounce. It come up. Oh, maybe because the location is too tiny, so it doesn't zoom in automatically. So that might be a problem. You need to when you create a map, you need to figure out the location. So where is it? Somewhere here. So probably better to follow the same thing. Up here, because that's a very small footage. It doesn't actually show on the map clearly. Huh? Oh, steering vehicle. Sorry. What I'm doing here. I should be here. Right. Run this again. Run this, please. Yes, it works. Now I can zoom in to see the video. How cool is that? So any videos right now, any GF animation, any static imagery, any geospatial data. Okay. Last one I will show you is like WMS layer. So it's another type of raster data, but it's called so-called web map services. So WMS stands for Web Map Service. So that means we can pull data from the internet, because a lot of data layers for Google-based map and some of the Esri-based map, those are called XYZ type layer. But there's another type called WMS. So WMS actually is an earlier version of web map services. This one probably has maybe over 20 years history now. And there's still a lot of data layers out there that use WMS. So I'm going to show you, same thing. We're going to import a map, WMS layer, and let's see what it looks like. So, for example, there are some WMS services published by some organizations. So all you need to do is figure out what URL they provide, what kind of data layer, and then you can just bring this one to your map. Similar to the image overlay and the video overlay, the only thing is different is right now we're constructing a WMS layer. So this is one, this is another one. See, so this one is from USGS, and this is the USDA NAM imagery, 1 meter resolution. It's super high resolution, and it's a web map service, right? So I can zoom in to any location here. For example, I can zoom in to San Francisco. So this is the highest resolution available for the US, because it's like 60 centimeter resolution. It's super high, but as you can see, it's only you are requesting the tiles when you zoom in, right? It's not downloading the entire imagery. So this web service itself is probably a couple hundred gigabytes. But because it's a web map service, data that you're seeing depends on zoom level and your area of interest. So when I zoom in, the area becomes much smaller. The image, the file size is smaller. When you zoom out, it uses a coarse resolution. It doesn't use the 60 centimeter. So the area is larger, but the resolution is smaller. The file size is still smaller. So this is exactly the same, just like you are visualizing data on Google Earth. So see, I can zoom in and zoom out, and nicely, this is what the data look like. If you want to find more, you can go to the national map here. They have a lot of other data layers available, so you can actually Google it. The website is not working. Oh, okay, it works now. And then for here, I can find any data layers. For example, I just type NAM imagery, and I'm going to show you here imagery NAIP plus. So actually, I get the link from here. You right click and then copy the URL. It's the same, pretty much just like the one that I'm showing you here on the notebook. So if I do it like this, and you will notice the URL is this one is from the same one, except you can remove the question mark and anything after the question mark. So you don't need like portion in your WMS layer. Okay. So and also from here you can zoom in and can zoom out nicely. But the only thing that you need to pay attention is you need to specify the layer name. Okay. So the layer name is going to vary, depends on the web map service you're going to get. And how do you know what layer this web service has? Is by opening the link. So for example, I search it here, and then you can actually open the link. It looks like this. This is called XML, like markup language. And this is where the web map service is basically the specification. So in order to figure out what kind of data layer that it has, you need to actually look at this one. But the easiest way is just Control F and then just type layer. Then scroll down, like you can find it somewhere. Okay, so this is where it really shows you the layer. Let me zoom in a little bit, right? So USDA plus natural color. So that means for the one that I'm using here, it's actually the natural color, but they also have something else. So if you want to try something else, for example, I want this NDVI layer, you can do that as well. So all I need to just copy this one and assume that you are interested in using the NDVI, then it will be like this. So now let's try again, see what happens. Okay, you're seeing the NDVI. So these are so-called web map services, WMS. It has multiple data layers. So when you're trying to add the data layer, you need to specify where's the URL, what layer name do you want to use. Sometimes it's a string like this. Sometimes it's just 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It varies, so there's no a standard. So you always need to just go to this URL, open it in the browser, and then just Control F, go through that. Eventually, you're going to find all the data layer, right? Natural color, or you can even have forced color composite, for example. So I can copy this one. So forced color composite means you're going to see the red color for vegetation. So And we come here, replace this, run it. Okay? And you can have this for free for the entire US. You have a lot of data. And all you need is a couple lines code. So now you know, right? I have this. How to add this one to my package? Okay? How long is it going to take you to add this one to your package? Depends on Copilot. Yes. WMS layer. Okay. Done. IPOM, WMS, URL, layers, and then edit. That's it. Pretty much. 2 lines of code. How cool is that? So now I can go back to my Jupyter Lab and I can test it out. Again, you need to restart the kernel because all the functions need to restart the kernel in order to be activated. So I can now do it here. Okay, import GeoDV, and then m equal to GeoDV.map. Display the map. And then all I need to do is like figuring out the URL. So for example, once you figure out the URL, this is the one that we want. Okay, so the URL will be this. And then the layers, it's called layers. Okay, you can actually add multiple data layers, but I'm just going to just add one. Make it simple. Control V, and then run this. Now I can just call m.add what WMS layer. All right, and then passing the URL, passing the layers, and that's it. It should be, oops. All right, so that's the problem. Right now, what happened? Because by default, it doesn't use the transparency mode like true, so that's why it's you probably want to add this too. But you might be using the JPEG or something else, so that's why the parameter, because you didn't specify, you use different default parameters, so there might be something unexpected. So and then once you figure the example, I can just copy all of this, all right, and run this one, run it. Oh, you need to redo it because you already created a map. So hopefully it works now. Okay, now I have this. So because of this, I think it's better to just set this as default settings on your functions. So in this way, the user don't have to set it up on themselves. So I can do it. Let's like paste it here, do, and then but in the function here, you need to say format equal to format, and then transparent equal to transparent. Okay, Control V, so S, and now it should be done. So this should be the final one, and I'm going to paste it one more last time. Restart the kernel. All right, and let's try it out the layer, and I can skip these two now because I have set those two parameters as default. Run it. Okay, how cool is that? So welcome to try out the USGS Web Map Services. There are tons of those data layers. Just open any one, look at what layer they have, and then you can add one to the map for your notebook example. Okay, that's all for today. I will see you on Friday.